I chose to read To Kill an Irishman by Rick Perello because it is such an important part of Cleveland's history, and I am from Cleveland. I grew up hearing the stories of the Italian Mafia from my great-grandparents. This movie is about Danny Green, who became famous in the 1970s because he took on the Italian mob. Danny was born and raised in Cleveland and had a tough childhood. He joined the Marines for a few years and then worked on the docks in Cleveland as a longshoreman. He was very proud of being Irish. Eventually, he worked his way up to the president of the local union. He got greedy and got caught embezzling funds and lost his job. Danny got off easy by having to pay only a $10,000 fine. Soon after, he joined forces with the other side as a mob enforcer. The book goes on and tells how Danny realizes his own potential to be powerful, like the other mob bosses. He is viewed by people as being untouchable because many people tried to kill him, but haven't succeeded. He was eventually killed on October 6, 1977 by a bomb, but managed to take out the mob with him. The major points made by Rick Perello are Danny Green's childhood, the rise of the Cleveland Mafia, the rise of Danny Green and his power, the Mafia Wars, and the aftermath of it all. To Kill the Irishman relates to sociology and sociological theory by explaining the relationship between Danny Green and the Cleveland Mafia. The Mafia hated Green because he was smarter than them and things came easy for him. They wanted him dead. My 3 points for how they relate to sociology are culture, minority groups, and behavior. My first one, culture, relates to this book because there are 2 cultures described in this book. The culture with the Mafia and the culture with the police. The culture with the Mafia is if someone doesn't do what they are told to do or tell a secret they aren't supposed to tell, the consequence is most likely them getting killed. They basically do whatever they want. The culture with the police is they uphold the law, meaning they go by the book and do what's right. For minority groups, the Italians and the Irishmen migrated to Cleveland in the 19th century. Once they came, the Italian Mafia started, and Danny Green became part of the Mafia, even though he was Irish. The Italian Mafia is basically all Italians. My third one for behavior is the Italian Mafia behaves as if they are their own government. They don't really follow the laws. For example, they'll most likely kill someone and just keep quiet about it. There's no justice done. The sociological perspective of this book falls under conflict theory. It falls under the conflict theory because different groups are fighting for the same power and resources. They are all in competition with each other because Green started his own lawn sharking, racketeering, and gambling business. People would come to him for money instead of the other mob figures, and this made them angry. The pros of writing To Kill the Irishman is it educates readers about the local history of Cleveland. It also grabs the reader's attention and makes them think differently about days gone by. For example, Danny was killed in the parking lot less than 5 miles from where we live. The cons to writing this book is it talks about a period of time in Cleveland's history that wasn't something to be proud of. Many people that read this book would think that Cleveland is a bad city. I would recommend this book because it's very informative about Cleveland's history. Over 16, I would say, would be the ideal age to read this book. I do think that this book would be good for sociology because it talks about different groups that are different from each other. Danny Green wanted to do things his way while the Mafia wanted to do things their way, but they were similar to each other in terms of wanting the same power and resources. It could be included in the sociological perspective unit. It could be included in that unit because of the conflict between the mob leaders in fighting for higher power over one another. My 2 questions are, was Danny Green in fact a hero based off what he did? And 2, was Danny Green an FBI informant?